I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear that I will faithfully.
You could call it the Biden boost. President Biden made Delaware a big part of Wednesday's inauguration. And now the tiny first state is getting worldwide attention. With me now is Steve Marino. He's the chief creative officer at Aloysius Butler & Clark. The full-service advertising agency has offices in Wilmington, Philadelphia, and Bloomsburg. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
So let's start with what's good, the biggest boost that President Biden will give to Delaware. You break them down into short and long-term boosts. Start with the short term for us.
Sure. The short term is going to be an injection of pride and a lot of PR. As you watch the news, you're seeing a lot of national reporters, reporting live from the riverfront. When a first family goes on vacation, they'll be reporting from the Delaware beaches. That's short term. Medium term is an influx of potential jobs, an injection of federal funds, some new businesses that may stay or relocate. We've been here for 50 years, but we're not going anywhere. And then long term, this is a brand asset that Delaware will own forever. In the same way where if you're in Delaware and you mentioned Arkansas, you're likely going to say Bill Clinton. Nationally, Delaware will be known for having Joe Biden.
Go back to the influx of jobs. How does that happen?
Well, for example, hotel revenue, right? Those reporters that are here are staying here. There are features around where do the Bidens eat and dine and drink. So you'll see it in terms of people wanting to sort of retrace his steps, hotel stays being up, and just an influx. And of course, when things like the presidential library get built, that's jobs to create those facilities and the like. So there will certainly be a measurable impact.
That's a lot of tourism. Also, companies moving into Delaware. Will there be any of that?
Sure. Well, time will tell in terms of what happened before or after in terms from a federal impact. But there certainly isn't a state in the country that wouldn't want to have the president of the United States be from their state, especially for a state like Delaware, which is small in size. That impact actually has bigger ripples than, say, another state that's larger with a bigger population.
Is there a downside? Are there negatives involved?
There's a few. I mean, everyone will tell you because it is small, his impact will be felt in terms of traffic and congestion and security and things like that. And some of the neighbors have even reported that already. But, that's a small downside to having the most powerful person in the world be from your state.
And I'm guessing they're pretty used to at least a little bit of that because he has been so in the spotlight for the last many, many decades.
Yeah, I mean, most of the neighbors, one of my partners is actually from his neighborhood. They'll tell you that they know when he's in town. So they've kind of gotten used to it. And, to his credit, he really does have those strong ties. He visits there regularly. So he's not like a visitor in his own town. They've gotten used to it. But it will get a little bit, more substantial now that he's.
Before we let you go, let's talk about the Super Bowl. You'll be back in a couple of weeks to talk about the ads, but they're going to look really different this year. Can you sort of give us a tease about that?
Yeah, I mean, what's going to be interesting is who is, but also who is not advertising. A lot of the big names that people have come to expect, the Cokes and the Pepsis, they're just not advertising this year. We're going to get into why. There's a lot of economic impacts about it. There's some PR implications as well. So it definitely will feel like a different year, but hey, the game's going to go on and the commercials will still be big. It'll still feel like the Super Bowl in a lot of ways.
I look forward to seeing the game and the commercials and seeing you afterwards. Steve Marino, Chief Creative Officer at Aloysius Butler & Clark. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.